couple of weeks. I promise you, those people cover the SEC a little bit closer than some guy living in Ohio. Let's go back to the calls and check in with Nick in Clearwater, Florida. Hello, Nick. Go right ahead.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
We are great. Thank you.
So, you've always struck me as someone that probably follows kind of the national political narrative. And one of the things that I saw yesterday was Bernie Sanders, college tuition-free deal, and then also canceling educational debt. And the first thing I thought about was, and I wanted to get your opinion on, how do you think, let's just say, for example, college football players, I don't want to even go to all the other athletes, but let's just focus on college football. If all college football players had the ability to go to their school for free, would that benefit a school like Alabama, or would that benefit schools that would shift the power and the influence of athletes going to another university if it were free?
I'm not sure. I don't know what Bernie Sanders said.
He introduced a bill with that representative from Minnesota that would basically wipe out student loan debt, which is a whole other issue, but
Sure.
also make tuition free at universities for people that were admitted. I mean, I know. I find most politicians to be humorous, some more than others. I don't think, from a pure athletic standpoint, I don't think it would change anything, because they're getting scholarships, and I don't think anyone who wants to play football at Alabama or Georgia or Florida is going to be denied, whether Bernie Sanders gets this legislation through or not. By the way, I'm not taking political sides here, but is there anything Mr. Sanders wants to charge for? I think that's a negative, Paul.
Okay. By the way, I don't mind everything being free. I would like an explanation of how it's going to be paid for. Hey, thanks for the call. I do. And Senator Sanders, you're welcome to call in, and I would love to talk sports with you. It would be fascinating.
All right, it's time for some straight talk. You wouldn't pay $100 for seats to a baseball game where you can get the same seats for $50. So why pay more on your wireless when you can get the same 4G LTE networks for up to half the cost? For $45 a month, get our unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data from Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
The weather's heating up, which means it's the perfect time to get that next job done. At AutoZone, we have the free services you need to do it right. Like our free AutoZone Loaner Tool program. It's simple. You choose from over 100 specialty tools, borrow the one you need, and get the job done right. The best part? It's all free. Our tools even come with operating instructions so you'll know exactly how to use them. Getting the job done just got easier. Let us help you at more than 5,600 locations nationwide. Deposit required. See store for restrictions and details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
I'm Jordan Glass with your sports update on ESPN Pensacola 94.5. For UWF, we are 72 days away from Argo football as they'll get the season kicked off against Carson Newman on September 5th. For your Blue Wahoos, they will be back home at the friendly confines of Blue Wahoo Stadium coming up later on this evening. Chris Garrett will have the call at 6:35 right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 as the Wahoos welcome in the Biloxi Shuckers. I'm Jordan Glass with your sports update right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
I'm Barry Cole, owner of Beret Jewelers. What do you think when you hear 60 to 70% off diamonds? If you're equipped with a good truth filter, a loud alarm goes off in your head and screams, mark up to mark down, mark up to mark down. At Beret Jewelers, we don't mark it up to mark it down, but I promise you we will always be the lowest price on comparable quality diamonds and jewelry. You don't stick around for 32 years unless you've done just that. Like people, diamonds have levels of integrity. Our job at Beret Jewelers is to find you that perfect diamond with strong levels of integrity, diamonds that are properly graded and beautifully cut so many years down the road it shimmers, shines, and stands out in a crowd. Sometimes the hidden treasure is right in your backyard, and for diamonds and jewelry, it's here at Beret Jewelers, brand new location next to Bonefish Grill on 12th Avenue or in Gulf Breeze. I'm Barry Cole from Beret Jewelers, and I want to be your jeweler.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and are behind on your monthly payments, you need to make this free call right now. 800-428-4187. When you call the Stop Debt Hotline, you're taking the first steps for help. Debt specialists are part of a real team who will help you with all of your options. You could stop the collection calls and letters forever by calling the completely confidential toll-free number right now. 800-428-4187. 800-428-4187. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can handle your debt forever. Imagine no more late nights and no more debt. Don't try to face your creditors alone. Call the Stop Debt Hotline right now. 800-428-4187. 800-428-4187. Get free information now by calling the Stop Debt Hotline. 800-428-4187. Non-attorney spokesperson paid for by Debt Resolution Helpline. 102 Northeast 2nd Street, number 183, Boca Raton, Florida, 33432.
Stress, health issues, and age all have an effect on men, especially in the bedroom, and current treatments like pills that have side effects or the thought of expensive surgery are out of the question. Living Waters Regenerative Medical Center has a solution to get to the root of the problem. Dr. Viglione uses Gainswave, a sonic, non-invasive, drug-free solution for men suffering from ED. Get a free consultation about a non-surgical, non-prescription solution to your bedroom problem. Living Waters Regenerative Medical Center, ViglioneMD.com.
Around the clock, Redwire is working for you. As security experts, they're committed to 24/7 customer service and professional installation to secure your business and home. Redwire operates a nationally recognized monitoring center here in the Florida Panhandle, where their trained specialists use innovative technology to ensure fast response times whenever you need them. If you are looking for affordable security, look no further than your own backyard. Redwire, real expert security.
Good Wednesday afternoon. We've got a long meeting today. We're all hungry. Let's just get through this.
As you can see on the pie chart, pie.
Focus, Mary.
From the earnings report, we had some wings in September. Wings. Let's order Buffalo Wild Wings. We could concentrate better with full stomachs.
That's a game winner, Mary. You've earned yourself a promotion.
Earn yourself a promotion at your next staff meeting with Buffalo Wild Wings Pensacola large order takeout. BuffaloWildWings.com.
This is Pensacola's
All
hometown
sports?
all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Dropping Gannon, looking Gannon, throws up the middle. At the 30, Derek Brooks 30, Brooks to the 29, 20, Derek Brooks all the way. Touchdown Tampa Bay, Derek Brooks, the dagger's in. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket, and this time his name is Bubba.
Pitch on the way. Russell drives one in the air. Deep left center. That's back near the wall. It's got a chance. Grand slam. Grand slam, Addison Russell. The new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
And Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? Bama scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trick Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And these them Louisiana, Pensacola guys, they looking crazy and all that.
Morris,
by the tight end call. That opens up the door. Breaking the coverage tackle. To the pylon. Touchdown.
A nice effort there by Alfred Morris, extending that ball over the goal line.
Near side ball, it's not big game. Doug Baldwin's got a first down. Doug Baldwin, 93 yards, now has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
Reggie Evans, and he's going to get an ovation. Guy from Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome to the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. I am Chad Brilliante, having some fun with you here alongside Jordan Glass. Well, who was wearing this headset, by the way? Was this Dumbo? This thing before, I was trying to adjust this thing earlier.
I don't know. Are you even in here? I can't.
You're blending in with the plant line right here?
Yeah.
Or is it too tough? Are you scared to look at me in this camo gear right here?
Maybe a little both.
This camo gear has a special meaning to it. It goes back. This is a rich tradition of it was extremely hot in here, and this is a lightweight shirt. That's as far as this goes. And the shirt before, that sailor-looking shirt that I was trying to wear,
right, yeah.
If I tried to make a move, it was going to rip at the seam. So apparently the medium rack.
See, you should have kept that on. You should have kept that on, got really mad about a topic today, and then just flexed really hard, ripped the seams, and just scared everybody.
Nobody needs to see any of that right there for TV and radio. First, starting off, look, the Alabama Crimson Tide. There was a guy the other day that asked the question, I see a lot of the good Alabama players in college, but do they ever make an impact at the next level? And I'm sitting there going, no. Just about 46 of them over the last 3 years. And when you talk about them, you can go through each team and get a C.J. Mosley.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Julio Jones was okay.
Some kind of guy. Yeah,
Calvin Ridley's all right.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram. If you're just basing on the quarterback position, yeah, A.J. McCarron's better at Mullinax commercials over in Mobile than. But overall, and look, I still don't think that A.J. McCarron's got a fair shake. He did with Catherine Webb, as Brent Musburger would say. Hey, go Jeff, by the way. By the way, when we moved down here to the ESPN studio, we're down here at ESPN Pensacola 94.5 Cat Country News Radio and WBY. When we started that, people I still don't think got the gist that this was on TV. But so Jeff has been coming in, and he, his printer's hooked up here. And after a while, I just told everybody, I said, just have fun. That's what we're doing out here. You are not going to be the most embarrassed person.
Come hang fire extinguishers right outside.
I'm the guy wearing the camo jersey here, so you can go ahead and do something fun. But today, the top pick right there for the Cincinnati Bengals, who have turned back into the Bungles, Jonah Williams, one of the greats, a guy that just did his business.
Yeah.
It took care of it. He did his business, and he probably was number 2 on the line. But overall, he was the kind of guy that would go out there and he would dominate. If you watch the videos, and a lot of people aren't like, hey, Jim, get in here. Get it. Look at this. Watch this pancake block. It's like, watch that 70-yard catch by Judy over the top for the touchdown from Tua. But Jonah Williams was just plowing people over alongside Pensacola's own Booker T. Washington, Alex Leatherwood, who is a beast and is getting better. I remember when Charlie Ward coached him at Washington. Charlie and I had a chance to do a show together, and I talked to Charlie. And Charlie in his somber, he's not going to ever yell at anyone, but Charlie said, if this kid ever gets a little bit of footwork, the mechanics, you can't teach somebody size. You can't walk up to someone and be like, son, I don't like your face, and I don't like that you're 6'1", 190. I want you to be about 6'7", 330. Get back to me. Bam. The 330 you could do by finding the right diet, which they don't condone these days. Fat Tuesday today at the ballpark, by the way.
Yeah.
But overall, it is something you cannot teach size. You can teach mechanics and footwork, and Alex Leatherwood got a lot better alongside Jonah Williams. But the news today, he will be out for the season, shoulder surgery, and that's a huge blow to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, it's a huge blow. He was going to come in and be their bell cow offensive lineman. He was going to be the guy that led that group, and now that this has happened, it's a huge blow to him. But on Alex Leatherwood's note, he's picked up that footwork, and he's not only expected to be the best offensive lineman for Alabama this year, but he's expected to be one of the top, if not the top, offensive linemen in the SEC, and possibly a really high pick in the NFL draft. So another former player from Pensacola
probably headed to the NFL. Yeah.
I always love messing with people, too, because really there's no other sport. And it's funny. We are an ignorant country when it comes to other sports. But when Art Briles, who turned a blind eye, went out to coach in Italy football, people are like, you got semi-pro leagues in Italy? And I thought that went south with the World League. That's still going on right there. I remember as a kid getting those cards in like London or those teams with the juggernauts or those teams you didn't even know for the World League. But overall, when you talk about a lot of these leagues, I didn't know there was an Italian football with 2-0 league. I knew there was one with a U. But you see a lot of guys, and I always joke with people when they're that good, be like, hey, man, Alex Leatherwood, work on a little footwork, be the best in the world. And, I mean, you're basically saying the best in the SEC, but look, no competition out there that we know of in Iceland. So it's the best in the world if he works on it. It just sounds better.
Some guy out there named Gunter going, oh no.
Hey, there's a couple Russians. You give me a week in Siberia, and right there through the Ukraine, I could come back with an offensive line that will kick in some people's what.
Yeah,
I've seen enough movies.
Yeah.
Look. The Ivan Dragos are the guys out there.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, Ivan Drago.
Vodka all around.
Yeah, I can get a couple 7-1 guys, put on a couple beef. They all look like they want to beat someone's, they're all bald with tattoos up the neck. So let's go to town. Richie Incognito might be Russian. Looking right now at some of the things, though, that have happened today. College World Series getting set game 2. Kumar Rocker is going to be on the mound. All he's done is go 3-0, dominate. He's a freshman, and he struck out 19 in a no-hitter. But it's not going to be easy because right now it seems like the team of destiny is a team that was unranked. Jim Harbaugh's been bitterly disappointed not winning championships at Michigan in football, but it's going to be the best. So ironic. That's just sports in a nutshell, where you have a basketball team with John Beilein that was ranked number 1 in the country for a lot of the season this year. Then you have a football team that is always expected to compete or win the Big Ten with Ohio State. Now Penn State's jumped in the mix. Wisconsin's always the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde of being in the top 10. But it's going to be a baseball team that was unranked that more than likely is going to win the title during that stretch. And nobody has ever down here in the South been like, man, what's Michigan baseball up to these days, bro? But they're getting it done, and they're taking on a team in Vanderbilt that is notorious for being a champion, watching the David Prices, watching the Walker Buehlers, watching these aces. And they've got another one on the mound because Kumar Rocker, he's one of those kind of guys that's going to be he's going to be in the bigs real soon, striking out your favorite hitter.
He is, yes. And I think the thing for Vandy is they need him on the mound tonight. And I think it's great that they saved him for game 2 because now they're in a must-win situation. And yesterday we sat here and we talked about it on the show, how great Vanderbilt's pitching staff was. That was probably going to be what led them to winning a national championship. And they go out and give out 7 runs. Kumar Rocker's got to do a great job tonight to keep them in this series. If they win tonight, I think Vandy can still win the series, but, man, the pressure is on them big time.
Drew Brees welcomed in Zion Williamson, who, look, when you have a name like Zion, you don't really need to shorten it. I mean, most people in the basketball lingo know who KD is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kyle Dawson, rookie 5'11" point guard from Vanderbilt. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or Kiata Diambu, the center from Senegal. But, Kevin Durant, we know that. We know AD. A lot of people know AD with Anthony Davis. Started the Kawhi. Everybody sort of has a. I like AK-47. Not too many people know that. You're like, so do I, brother. But Andre Kirilenko, the old one right there for the Jazz, who looked like actually a literal Gumby. Have you ever seen him play? Like, he actually looked like Gumby, the guy, like the green guy out there with a little bit of spiky hair like mine. But overall, Andre Kirilenko was the originator of the foreign flop with Vlade Divac, and the NBA went south for a little while after that. But Drew Brees is passing on the torch to a guy in Zion Williamson who doesn't really need to venture out when you have a name like Zion for a nickname. It's going to be one that is going to be heard. It already is heard, and if you didn't see this guy play any games against Duke or Taco Fall blocking his for UCF Go Knights, then you need to watch because he is unlike any guy we've seen. Everybody tries to compare him, a morph between a LeBron, a Charles Barkley, an MJ. He's not. He's a new age guy.
Yeah.
Not too many guys, 6'7", 285, 290 pounds, the size of a really nasty defensive end in football today. That's like a John Henderson size when he was in his prime right there for Tennessee. Put on a couple extra pounds after that. But we're talking about a guy that is a freak of nature and can jump like he's 200 pounds. And we found out yesterday Giannis Antetokounmpo winning the MVP. It shows you guys with freak of nature type of mentality will have a chance to soar in today's NBA because it's not a slow it down defensive grind.
Right, yeah.
It used to be about outsmarting a lot of people, and today in the NBA, it's more about just, hey, if I'm more talented, get me the ball quick, and I'm going to pull up for a 20-footer, or I'm going to nasty it in your face, and if I don't, I'm going to get fouled.
And the problem with Zion, and I say problem because it's going to be a problem for defenses he has to face, he's got that athleticism, but he also has the strength to where if you are playing a good game against him and you're actually sizing him up and squaring him up in the paint, he's just going to use that strength to power through that. And, I mean, there's really no way to stop a guy like that.
No, not at all. And at this point, Drew Brees is passing on the torch today as he gave him a jersey and said, you know what, he said, those are his words, not ours, for somebody like, in my opinion, Drew Brees will never pass on the torch for what he did after Hurricane Katrina, everything. He's more than football to that city. There's many people that are bigger than sports when it comes to the city, and he's definitely one of them because Drew Brees won a Super Bowl when it was bigger than just sports. It's like when the Boston Red Sox, oh, here we go again with his Boston teams. No, when the Boston Red Sox won after the Boston Marathon bombing, it meant a ton more.
Yep.
Or what happened when you had the Subway Series in the World Series after 9/11. That was so much more than baseball. Those kind of things you look back at and you say, Drew Brees forever, no matter what quarterback throws out there. And first off, he's got half the passing records right now in the NFL. He's the NFL all-time leading passer with 7,400 yards. So it's not like somebody's going to walk in and beat him because guess what? Nobody in the NFL in the history of the game has more yards than Drew Brees right now. I think Zion's going to be great, but those are some big shoes to fill. And even though Drew Brees only has one Super Bowl, I think you get like 0.5 for the last couple seasons, or like give him like 0.15 for the way that it ended with Bill Vinovic and also with the way it ended with Stephon Diggs. Because all Drew Brees could do is sit there on the sidelines and go, crap. And I do know that they went to in overtime, he could have drove down the field like Tom Brady, the all-time GOAT, and scored a touchdown. However, he won the game by driving him down the field and getting them into field goal range with the guy crushing him 2 seconds too early, and they would have kicked the field goal and won. So he did what he needed to do to set up the team to win. It's not – it's like a guy that's hitting a walk-off home run tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays, and as he's rounding the bases, it hits the stupid top of that dome and falls into the field for a ground rule double, and they end up striking up the next guy. It's not his fault that the dome is stupid.
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying. It's sometimes you do the right thing and don't get rewarded for it. And do you think Zion's going to have a history in today's NBA, the style that the game is today? If I had to over/under, cash or smash it, Zion Williamson 5 years in New Orleans.
I would say cash it. I'm probably going to put it right about 5. I think when he was drafted, the way I looked at it was about 4 or 5 years from now, he's going to be looking to go be a free agent somewhere and go to a bigger market because he's going to establish a name for himself. It's going to take a little bit of time. He's going to have to go through the attrition of playing in the NBA, and it is different than playing in college. Even though he was a freak of nature in college, he's going to have to go through that attrition. But once he does, he's going to be one of the top players in the game, and when he does that, all of these big market cities, whether it's the Knicks, whether it's the Lakers, the Clippers, even the Kings in Sacramento, if the Toronto Raptors keep building what they're building in Toronto, they're going to be calling him. OKC is going to be calling him. Dallas is going to be calling him. You know Mark Cuban wants a guy like Zion Williams on his team because, A, that makes the team better, and B, brings Mark Cuban a lot more money to a Dallas Maverick team that really, now that they don't have Dirt, who's going to be their go-to star guy for the team. So there's going to be a lot of teams calling on him when his contract's up.
Just saying, the first time he gets posterized in the NBA, though, I'm just waiting for it so I can go ahead and put the headline right there. Anthony Davis mounts Zion.
Who do you think it's going to You think it's going to be Anthony Davis? I was about to ask
I'm just saying, I think he would like to. You know what I'm saying? Starts with a letter.
I think he would like to, but I think more – I got a feeling it might be Giannis.
I think he would like to do something that you drop into a cup of water and stir. Just think about it that way. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I was thinking a teabag. We're coming back for more right here on the Sports Drive, ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV.
ESPN Pensacola 945 is accepting applications for employment. Periodically, we have openings in sales, business, news, promotions, engineering, production, and programming. We'll keep your application for consideration when such an opening occurs. We also provide internships to qualified students. Apply online at ESPNpensacola.com or at our studios at 7251 Plantation Road behind University Town Plaza on Davis Highway between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. ADX Communications is an equal opportunity employer.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Hi, I'm Tom Menger, the new driver compensation manager at Schneider. As a former truck driver, I know the importance of being paid accurately and on time. Trust that I'm always working with that in mind. I'm also an example of career progression opportunities at Schneider. I started as a driver in 2002, and when I was ready to come off the road, I became a driver trainer and later moved into other leadership roles. I've had a great 17-year run, and so could you. Learn more about driving careers and other opportunities at schneiderjobs.com. That's schneiderjobs.com.
Hi, this is Thane Taylor from the Sleep Center. For over 20 years now, the Sleep Center has been known as Pensacola's mattress experts. But did you know that the Sleep Center is also Pensacola's adjustable bed, futon, cabinet bed, and beanbag experts? The Sleep Center opened in Pensacola in 1995 with the main goal of being the area's one-stop shop for all your bedding needs. Since then, we have become Pensacola's oldest and largest bedding superstore and have the highest Google rating of any store on the Gulf Coast. So if you want better sleep without all the fuss, come to the Sleep Center and leave the rest to us.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents. When generic insurance takes hold, one handsome man and one flightless bird are teaming up to save the world. Money. Their message? Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Their mission? Savings. Their relationship? Best friends. Say hello to Liberty Mutual's new spokes team. And Doug.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
And welcome back to the Sports Drive, 5:19 on this Tuesday evening. Tonight at Blue Wahoo Stadium, it's Fat Tuesday. Have some fun down there, Mardi Gras style, and they're going to be taking on a team in Biloxi that took care of them at the end of the first half. So a little bit of a second-half revenge here as they will head back home coming off the game yesterday in Jacksonville, back home for a 5-game series, and that will start with first pitch at 6:35, and we'll have your game for you right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5, your home for Blue Wahoo's baseball. But right now, we got the College World Series going on, a number of baseball games and all-star voting going on right now in Major League Baseball. And joining us now, the man himself, the San Francisco Giant they wish they had right now with a record well below 500, our good friend Greg Litton. Greg, what's happening, my friend?
Dad, what's going on, brother?
Man, just enjoying life right now. Did you get to catch that College World Series yesterday?
I sure did. Michigan looked pretty tough. I thought Vanderbilt played a little tight. I thought the pitcher, I can't remember his name, but he got hit a couple times early in the game and then looked like he started pitching a little scared or defensive.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think one of the things that you look at a team like Vanderbilt is they've got a team that was dominant throughout the year, but it wasn't like I think Michigan could surprise you because Michigan has been dominating teams over the last couple of weeks. If you look at it, Greg, they've only trailed for 10 minutes the entire NCAA baseball tournament, going back to the regionals, super regionals, and in the College World Series. And most every game, they've been an underdog going into that.
Yeah, no, they're certainly the team that's hot, and that's one of the things I've always loved and said about baseball. And what makes it great is anybody can beat anybody in a short series, and the pressure is certainly on Vanderbilt tonight. I think they have their ace going tonight, and a friend of mine was like, "Oh, well, the pressure's not going to bother him." I'm like, "Well, until we see it, I wouldn't. You can't really say that. He's never pitched in this kind of pressure, and until he comes through and does it, you just don't know how anybody's going to handle it."
No, especially when your ace is a true freshman. I mean, that's the thing is, yeah, he's looked dominant throughout the year, but he's never handled the pressure in a big moment like this, meaning the College World Series is on the line, because he's a true freshman. Now, he's shown nothing that he's going to drop off or do something stupid. He's 3-0 right now in the College World Series, but and through the postseason, but it's still, when you're a true freshman, there's a little bit of jitters, especially against an offense that's been crushing teams, and that game will be Game 2 tonight in the best-of-3 series. Looking at some of the things going on, Greg, college baseball is one of those kind of sports where a lot of people watch the passion, but they don't watch the whole entire season. It doesn't bring in the revenue of college football or college basketball, but it's usually right there in the mix as the third sport, with some of them like soccer and probably a little bit ahead of it on the men's side. When you look at a lot of athletes, though, these guys, only 11 to 12 of the players will get full scholarships at the most on a team of about 30 people. And a lot of them will play and not get a chance to work a job, not get a chance to get to every class, and they'll end up with student loans and not be the guy that gets to go play a Major League Baseball career and make money. Do you think it is fair how the system is set up for the NCAA as a $1.5 billion organization in funds? That's what they had in funds last year of what they made, and they can't give enough scholarships to the to the players in college baseball?
Chad, it's not only not fair, it's really just idiotic to be about as nice as I can put it. And a lot of it, though, a lot of these schools would, and I talked to Coach Polk, and I know you remember Coach Ron Polk at Mississippi State. He was a big proponent. He fought against the NCAA for years and years about this. I talked to him about it, and one of the biggest problems is this Title IX.
Exactly.
I talked to Coach Polk, was in town speaking at the beach, promoting one of his books maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I spoke to him. And it's like he said, he goes, "Greg, right now you can walk around the University of Alabama and find flyers cast up all over the campus asking women to try out for the rowing team, and they have 10 full scholarships for a rowing team they don't have, they don't need, they don't want, but they have to fill it to meet these Title IX requirements. And you have a baseball team with 25, 30 guys that's actually supporting itself with the money that they make for the university, and they've only got 12 scholarships that they have to split up amongst 25, 30 guys. It is absolutely ludicrous. It's crazy, and it needs to be fixed.
It's idiotic. I'll go to that point, and this is not a hater's ball here on equality when it comes to sports. It's called doing the quick math. If I was doing a lesson for first graders, I'd say, okay, if the average sport has 10 spots for scholarship, like the count from back on Sesame Street, 1, 2, ha, ha, if you keep going through, and then a football team has 85 to 90, but remember that the women don't get those scholarships because there is no football. Now we have to take that 85-something and divide it by all these other new sports and create it for pretty much the equivalent of 8 to 9 sports. then something's not going to add up. And that's what's happening right here is football, which it should, because that makes the most revenue. These kids should get scholarships to go to Alabama. But however, because of that, and they have to have the same amount of scholarships for all the sports for guys and girls, like you said, if you can do basket weaving on the side or aerobics, aerobic trampolines, if that was a sport, they would hand you a scholarship to go play there so they could equal out to the same amount of scholarships to make up for all those football ones they don't have. And it is insane and nuts, and it's not equal. If anything, it's unfair to the guys that are trying to get scholarships to play baseball.
Chad, life ain't fair. This ridiculous even scholarships Title IX fiasco needs to be fixed. Like you said, the football program funds everything else. To base and say you have to have so many other scholarships is absolutely ridiculous. And most big programs, most of them support themselves and could pay for the scholarships. They can handle that, but they're not even allowed to. And it's crazy. The fact that it's remained this way for this long just shows how stubborn and just not well run sometimes the NCAA is.
Yeah, that's the most ludicrous part of it, is that they cap it at 11 to 12. So even if a guy like a Stephen Ross, who's a billionaire mogul, owned part of the Miami Dolphins and just put, I think, $200 million into Michigan athletics, if he wanted to go there and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to purchase all the rights to these guys' scholarships. I'm not going to hand them money, but I'm just going to let these guys know that their books, everything's paid for. He could not do that because, no, we want you to play baseball, then do two-a-days, never have a life, not be able to do anything. You can't work, but guess what? Those student loans are starting to rack up because you're not getting paid to come here. So it's asinine, and especially I looked at the contracts that ESPN has right now with the College World Series, and it's in the millions. It's in the millions to watch these kids play that are paying out of their own pocket to make this trip, and it's pretty sad. Looking at some of the other things going on, Greg, you got the All-Star game is right around the corner, the Midsummer Classic right there in July in Major League Baseball. Do you like the way that somebody could sit there and just keep on clicking or put the old, I remember going to the mall as a kid. You remember that? Well, you actually played, but do you remember when you could write in your vote at like the mall in different locations and then just put it in with 15 different names that maybe or maybe not voted for a bunch of Red Sox, and you put it inside the box right there, and that's how the All-Star game was voted on. Now, a lot of people today can do it from their phones, but do you think the system of voting for All-Stars is a fair one today in Major League Baseball?
Well, not for that reason. I think I like the way the fans, the way they we've always done it, where the fans vote. I like how they've added several positions for the managers to make sure the players that deserve it, and that, I'm sure it's mostly the Dodger fans that stuff the ballots and cheat, because we know how the Dodgers are. But having said that, I like the system for the most part, but no, you should not be allowed to vote 10 or 15 times for the same guy. That's just dumb. I don't know how they fix it. It's probably a cost-effective thing that you want to open it up to as many people that want to vote, but then how do you check it? Is it really worth checking? Maybe not as a cost-effective measure, but yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to vote. A player in just because their fans are nuts and their home city isn't. So, no, I don't know how to fix it exactly, but it's kind of good and bad.
Speaking with Greg Litton, former major leaguer here, as he joins us each and every week to talk some baseball. Greg, I've been watching this week, and it's always a great sight. Baseball, you get that more than any time because there is downtime in between a lot of pitches and in between hitters. But the machine, Albert Pujols, one of the nicest guys, and I posted a video of him. There was a kid with Down syndrome that he brought a jersey signed by him right after the game off his back and took a photo with him and just made his day. I mean, and it wasn't even in their hometown. They were actually in the Rogers Center in Toronto, but they were on the road with the Angels. And he seems like such a good guy. Now, he's a easy double play target these days because he can barely make it down first base. He's slow as molasses, but he's still hitting the ball okay. He's probably not worth what he's getting paid, but he is a legend. And at one point, he was looked at as in the realm of the greatest first baseman of all time. When you look at Albert Pujols and they celebrate to the point of every time he stood to the plate at Busch Stadium and what he brought with the World Series and the fans' respect in St. Louis is incredible, and you really only get that in baseball where you can do that. But my question to you is, was there a player that you played against or with that had that same ovation? And you know what? Even on the other side of the field, you just had to tip the cap.
Well, yeah, I was blessed to have played against some guys like Mike Schmidt,
Cal
George
Ripken.
Brett, Cal Ripken, man, who else? Golly, there were some.
Nolan Ryan.
There were some great ones. I played with Gary Carter against Nolan Ryan. Unfortunately, it was against us in Seattle when Nolan Ryan threw that last pitch and blew his arm out. But, yeah, there are certainly players like that, and that is no surprise the way St. Louis did because I played in some great cities, San Francisco, Seattle, and Boston, and had some good fans. But I can tell you this, when people ask me who has the best fans in Major League Baseball, without a doubt, the first thing I always say is St. Louis. St. Louis has some of the just most knowledgeable, respectful, appreciative fans that I've ever seen. I mean, that's a really special thing they have going on there, and they treated Albert to probably the accolades and appreciation that he deserves.
Greg, I've had a chance to work with a number of different networks and be around the game of baseball. You played for a Major League Baseball team, but a lot of people driving and listening to the show, they've maybe never seen what a regular day is like for a baseball player. They know they show up and take batting practice, and guys like Ichiro become these superhumans that bomb them into the top row. But when it comes to an everyday baseball, you're on the road and sometimes flying across country from a series against Boston to San Francisco and then going back to New York and the insanity in just a week span. But talk about what is the average daily routine. Or when you're on the road and you're at the beginning of the series, do you get more leeway to go out than the end of the series? And if you get one of those rare days off, what is it like when you're in one of those cities? Talk a little bit about some of the things that you expect from a baseball player that a lot of people don't know.
Well, that's a great question, Chad, because I used to have family that would come see me. I remember one time they came up to St. Louis, a bunch of my relatives from Mississippi, and we go out and have lunch about noon, and about 1:30 we're wrapping up lunch. We get back to the hotel about 2, and I'm like, all right, I'll see you guys after the game about midnight. I'll be back to the hotel if anybody's still up. And they're like, whoa, where are you going? And I'm like, what do you mean? And I said, I'm going to the ballpark. And they're like, this early? And I'm like, well, yeah, what time do you think we go? At 6 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game? And after staying with us, and staying in the team hotel and seeing what we do, I had several of my cousins go, God. And then, with having to pack up and, we're only there for 4 days on a good scenario. Sometimes it's only 2 or 3. And they were just like, man, that's terrible. Now, the travel, everything all together, obviously it's worth it. But yeah, no, some of the worst places to play are where I played, Seattle, San Francisco, and Boston, because when you're on one of the coasts, and the further north or south you are on that coast, almost every trip you take is a long, stinking trip. I mean, we had Los Angeles and San Diego, but everything else was flying all the way across the country to play. And it makes for a long road trip when you're in 4 cities in 12 days and, you're in and out of a suitcase. You got to be at the ballpark about 2 o'clock, especially for guys like me that didn't start every day. You got to get there early, take some extra batting practice, maybe do some running, do whatever, and then you got batting practice for the game, infield, and then after the game, you got to stay in shape. So we would hit the weight room 3 or 4 nights a week, and by the time you get done, it's easily close to midnight or after. And one night or doing that every other night a week, 3 or 4 nights a week wouldn't be a big deal. But when you factor in, Chad, that we played 162 games in 182 days, which is 20 days off in 6 months, and most of those days off when you're playing out of a team on one of the coasts, most of those 20 days off are flying across the coast. So it's not like you just get a day off to sit around do nothing or do whatever you want, go golfing, hang out with friends or whatever. It's usually flying from San Francisco to Philadelphia or something to get ready for the next day's game. And then you add in spring training. Spring training is 6 weeks with 1 day off. So in almost 8 months, we had 21 days off. And, I always tell people about that. And it's look at the Wahoo Stadium, as nice as that is, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine having to play 162 games in the next 182 games right there, and you live right across the little bay there in Port Royal. 162 of the next 182 nights you got to play a game. That would be tiring. But then picture him only 8 to 10 games at home and then gone again for 6 to 8 months. And it is a long, grueling season, and that's why, the players that take care of themselves and stay in shape, that don't go out as much, tend to have a little more success.
Greg, Red Sox reinstate Stephen Wright, but this is probably one of the more idiotic stories. He got an 80-game suspension for PEDs. Yeah, it's baseball, it happens, but he's a knuckleball pitcher. Why does a guy need to juice up to throw the ball 60? When I read this, and he's a Red Sox and he was doing good, but nothing like the guy, the knuckleball pitcher, getting caught with PEDs, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have to call my boy Tim Wakefield and ask him about that. Maybe he was juicing all those years.
Yeah, I used to get these bad boys at 60. Now I'm hitting 64 these days with these guns right here. There's nothing to it at all. If anything, it could affect the rhythm of it. Like one of those skinny guys like Kevin Durant, they always said if he bulked up, that could affect his jump shot. You don't want those guys getting too muscular. I wouldn't mess with the knuckleball pitcher, but nothing like the knuckler getting PEDs. So he add him to the list of cheaters.
That's pretty funny. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and he must have done it too.
That's a good one there.
Because that's not one that I don't think, because Major League Baseball even double-checked the report. They shook the cup and they're like, this can't be right. Can we call him back in? Because, he's a knuckleball pitcher. There's no way he failed this. Okay, so, yeah, I'm sure he actually did fail it for sure, and it wasn't one of those guys that he had a sandwich in Mexico and didn't know what was in it. But, yeah, things like that happen. Greg, I hope everything's going well. I know that there's a lot of things going on lately. How's family life and how's everything going?
Oh, everything's good here, Chad. I always tell everybody, when I complain, nobody listens, so it doesn't do you any good. And but no, we getting into the heat of the summer. Hopefully, the Wahoos are going to have a good second half, and look forward to Major League Baseball the second half, and hopefully the Dodgers folding again.
Well, see, I think to what you said, though, Greg, when I was going to probably get myself in trouble for this, but I said when I complain, nobody listens. But then if I tell somebody that I complain and nobody listens, then they're listening. You know what I mean?
See, if you picked up on that, that was sneaky on my part.
There you go. That's like one of those Confuciuses right there for you. But Greg, hey, always appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you again here soon, bud.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Chad.
Appreciate it. Now, that's 100% true right there. If you complain and nobody is listening, that's one thing. But the second you tell somebody else that you're complaining and nobody else is listening, somebody will listen. We're coming back for more right here on the Sports Drive.
Pensacola is loaded with famous athletes, and when it comes to seeing a chiropractor for their sports injuries, there is one team they trust, Doctors Edwin Roberts. A family tradition for 3 generations, Doctors Edwin Roberts Chiropractic, next to Legendary Fitness on Mobile Highway, has helped champion athletes like Emmett Smith and Trent Richardson. Doctors Roberts specialize in relieving auto accident pain to physicals for the student athlete. The best treatment for sports injuries is prevention. Call 912-4155 for a free consultation and change your life forever.
O'Reilly. Get your vehicle ready for summer during Murray AC Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Whether you need a full AC repair or a charge on your system, you'll find special offers on everything from AC compressors to refrigerant. Stay cool this summer. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Troy Rafferty, and many of you know about my love for sports and my longtime support for our local high school athletes. One thing these fine young people have taught me over the years is this: whether it's on the ball field, in the classroom, or in a court of law, always work your hardest and achieve the best results possible. And that is the commitment we make to our clients and our community.
Levin Papantonio in Pensacola since 1955.
Let's talk about Chad. Last year, he was working 2 jobs, trying to make ends meet, barely staying above water. In February, Chad started his information technology career, making more money, doing something he loves. Don't love what you do? Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Classes meet on campus or live online 2 or 3 times a week. It's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career. mycomputercareer.edu.
ESPN Pensacola has you covered from the national and local levels. From Golick and Wingo to the Sports Drive, the Paul Feinbaum Show to talk football with Coach K, we have it all. It's the latest and best in sports talk radio, making us Pensacola's hometown sports network. ESPN Pensacola 94.5, also on HD Radio at HD2 98.7 WICT, and streaming online at our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
You could win free fuel for a year in the Shell Great Gas giveaway. Fuel Rewards members are automatically entered every time they purchase 8 gallons or more. And if you choose new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, you get 4 entries. So, it's time to fill up for a chance to win. Not a member? To join, download the app or go to fuelrewards.com/win. No purchase necessary. Motion ends 9/1/19. See official rules at fuelrewards.com/win for how to enter by mail and all details.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. 5:43 on this Tuesday evening. 6:35 we'll send out to the Pensacola Blue Wahoos as Chris Garagiola will have the first pitch right there against the Biloxi Shuckers back home for Fat Tuesday. Looking forward to some fun down there.
That's going to be
the Mardi Gras festivities.
Tomorrow night, actually, at the Wahoo game. I know tonight's Fat Tuesday, but tomorrow night you go out, first 1,000 fans through the gate, get a voucher for the 2020 Senior Bowl for a ticket for that. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
There'll be at least 1,000 people at the Senior Bowl next year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, make your plans to don't get too many like autograph things ready because we don't know who's in it yet.
Right.
But but at the same time, it's always fun. Jim Nagy's taken over and done an incredible job with the Senior Bowl, taking over for Phil Savage, and they've been nothing but great to us.
Yeah.
They were in studio having a chance to talk with him and Coach Dave Wilson, and they brought all the players for the Senior Bowl down to Blue Wahoo Stadium to do a camp with them for free, and just really cool overall. He really. I remember when I talked to Jim, because he spent 19 years as a scout for some of the big markets with the New England Patriots, scouting just players, folks. But he was out there, and also with Seattle, but just a class act and a guy that really knows football. You talk to some of these scouts, the X's and O's, and he knows his game. And he's really trying to market to Pensacola. Mobile already has it there. We know Lad Peebles is awesome. Getting a chance to watch these guys. My favorite interview ever, besides getting to show up every day and do the show with you, obviously, was the mom and son interviews. They do mom and son interviews, and sometimes you forget these nasty 6'6", 330-pound linemen that have the James Worthy syndrome, where they look like they haven't been ID'd since birth. Those guys sometimes sit across from me, who at the time when I had the interview, I remember it was like 32, and I was like wanting to call this guy sir, who was 21. But you look at a lot of these guys, and they're still big teddy bears. They're still kids. I remember when I was 21, some of the things, and Mom probably would have been like, "Nah, he's not talking to me. He's grounded."
That's not my son.
That's not my son.
I don't know
that's
who
not
that
my
is.
son. But when it comes to, I love you, Mom, by the way. She would. But when it comes down to one of the guys in DJ Reader, 6'3", 340-pounder, who played baseball as well at Clemson. Think about that, like Prince Fielder on roids. And DJ was clean, by the way. But his mom was sitting there, and I asked his mom, I was like, "Mom, did you know?" Because he put in, I guess, Reader went from about 260 to 330 pounds in like a matter of a month or two. He put on like 70 pounds. And I said, "Mom, was he at the gym doing it?" Don't let him lie to you. All he did was get third helpings of my mac and cheese and bacon. And I was like, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah, Mom, have you ever had my mom's mac and cheese?" And she was like, "No, he has not, because that's a skinny boy right there." And I was like, "Okay, well, I will come to your house because I do like mac and cheese, and I'll go for a third helping. I'm lucky I have good genetics, I guess you could say, because I do eat like I'm 500 pounds." And that was one of the most fun interviews ever had, for sure, by far.
Yeah, no, and look, it was great being out there this past year, and they have done a great job with the Senior Bowl. And I think as far as the stadium goes, they're holding on to that on-campus stadium for South Alabama gets built, and then they can just move over to that, because that's going to be a nice venue for it as well. But it was nice this past year being there, and just kind of turning around, seeing all these, turn around, see Will Greer, and then there's Trace McSorley, and then there's Hunter Renfro, his name escaped my mind for a second. But, yeah, it's just guys like that. And all of a sudden, walking down the sideline, you hear somebody come up behind you. Man, I tell you what, man, it's a good day for football out here. You turn around and it's John Gruden
coaching the team,
Okay.
Nick Saban, Bill Belichick come in for a couple days. It is fun, and you get some of the biggest names. Roger Goodell was down there.
Yeah.
I missed him with the key lime pie. I threw it at him, and apparently did not get him. But overall, looking at some of the things real quickly here going on, as you talked about, when we talked about this, just ridiculous Tampa and Montreal reuniting, coming together and making that happen. I think that this is one of the most idiotic things you could ever think of, is having two cities. We've talked about names. They could be Border Buddies. They could be Demolition Derby or Dome Derby right there. You could also go with a name like the Tampa Bay A's or the Sacre Bleu. I like that one right there, the Sacre Bleu, with the French Canadian. And also
how about we call them Biodome and have Paulie Shore throw out the first pitch every game?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that right there. Tampontreals. And the Tampontreal X-Rays. That would be the combination of both names.
That's an
just a
interesting
lot
name.
of crap going on there, but Tampontreal X-Rays. But that's just
very
combining
busy
the two
jersey.
teams of Montreal Expos and Tampa Bay Rays into one team. And I think that's what it is, though. That name, to me, is the only name it can be, because the team needs to be a name where people look at. They look at that name and they go, "Oh, that's a load of crap." And that's what the team should represent, because this whole story of this getting to this point is garbage. It's like the guy on American Idol who can't sing. The guy that isn't even good for the shower. You let my heart in Vegas. You let my heart, like one of these. Like they let him continue.
You've seen my audition
there we
tape.
go.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah. But you let that guy get all the way to like the semis. That's where we're sitting here. We're like, is anyone seeing this? Like, is anyone else seeing this? It's like Miss USA walking down there, and no offense if you have it, but she's got a pirate leg and an eye patch and a beard, and she weighs 780 pounds going, "Arg!" Like, and you're like, "Mrs. Columbia, Mrs. Is this a country over here? Is somebody making? Why is this happening? Like, what is going on here? Why are they still continuing to go down this path?
Right.
Because this is beyond now like a could happen story. This actually might happen, and it's not just like one of those on the Ocho. This is the commissioner is getting involved.
Oh, he's already said I've given Tampa Bay a broad, the exact term, broad permission to explore whatever is available.
That sounds like something that.
And here's the real kicker
that
about
couples
this.
do that we don't usually hang out with. Yeah, I've given them broad.
I believe that's called a hall pass.
I was gonna say, or I believe that's called a divorce. If you don't know, I'm just gonna say.
But it's ridiculous, and this whole situation's getting even worse because now Stu Sternberg, the owner of the Rays, the guy that's in charge of this whole crazy circus that's going on right now, has said, we want to, playing in Tampa is no longer an option. It's going to be our best option is Tampa and Montreal half the year. Oh, by the way, we want both cities to build open-air stadiums for us. Tampa's not even going to build you a stadium if you stay there the entire season. You think if you leave for half the year, they're going to go, well, now that you're leaving for half a year, sure.
Yeah. Well, for all these, for
Let's
2
dump
decades.
multi-million dollars into a stadium you're only going to use half the year.
Yeah. For 2 decades, we've given you a stadium that's horrible in traffic, that's not even in Tampa.
Yeah.
It's in St. Pete, and it's off the beaten path, and it has no baseball appeal to it or history outside of that cool Ray tank. I do like that for the kids, but nothing to it. But now, all of a sudden, when we're going to split you with the team 2,000 miles away and not even in this country, now let's reunite with a brand new stadium.
And
let's make that happen.
Stu's great thing that the city of Tampa Bay goes, well, we'll play longer in Tampa because here's the thing. We'll move from Port Charlotte to Tampa for spring training. Nobody's going to go to a Tampa Bay Rays spring training game when you can go 2 miles down the road and go to a New York Yankees spring training game. Go watch Aaron Judge and guys like that play spring training, or go watch a bunch of young guys that are trying to make a name for themselves in Major League Baseball play spring training.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather go do?
I think Stu just needs to count his billions and hang out. When we come back, we're going to talk a little more on Major League Baseball. We'll get to more on some of the news in college football. And the tough news today, Jonah Williams, Alabama Crimson Tide, first-round draft pick by the Cincinnati Bengals, out for the season, it looks, now to have shoulder surgery. Not the best news. We're coming back for more right here on the Sports Drive.
The year was 1919. Barbasol shaving cream was invented by a dreamer named Frank Shields. The world's first modern shave cream, Barbasol changed the face of shaving forever. A few billion shaves later, Frank's dream lives on. Behind every face is a dream. Barbasol proudly salutes every fearless, self-assured, wide-eyed dreamer all across America. Celebrating 100 years. Barbasol.
Welcome to Bo!
Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something that screams something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. Snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Moe's Southwest Grill, now open in Pace on Highway 90 next to Publix grocery store.
What'd you do this time, Brad?
I'm in the doghouse after my hunting trip last weekend.
Yeah, I was too. I blew off our date for an FSU game.
How'd you get out of the doghouse?
Stillwater's Day in Medical Spa. I got her a gift card. It took 3 minutes at swmedspa.com. She booked it this Saturday.
Saturday? So 9 holes then?
Tee time's at 8.
To enjoy a hassle-free guys' weekend, let her relax at Stillwater's Day in Medical Spa. Visit swmedspa.com. Stillwater's Day in Medical Spa. Voted Best Day Spa 8 years in a row.
Don't let this summer pass you up. Power it up. In the 5-Hour Energy, power up your summer sweepstakes. You could win one of 5 amazing experiences. Buy any 5-Hour Energy product, including Cherry Extra Strength. Snap a picture of your receipt and send it in. Because it's about time you had the time of your life. Power up your summer with 5-Hour Energy. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends July 15, 2019. Must be U.S. resident age 18 years or older to enter. For official rules, visit www.5hewin.com. Void where prohibited. Sponsored by Living Essentials, LLC.
Our Pensacola Wahoos are back for another season, and with the new season comes some fresh and new changes. Our Wahoos are now the new AA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins, and they have a new broadcast home here in Pensacola, right here at your hometown station for hometown sports, ESPN Pensacola 945. Catch all the Wahoos action from home and away with Chris Garagiola. Wahoos baseball presented by Denny's on the new official flagship station for the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 945 and ESPNpensacola.com.
He was a star quarterback at Pensacola High, played alongside Gator great Steve Spurrier, and rose up the ranks to become head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Now, he's talking football on ESPN Pensacola 945. Coach K brings football to life year-round. The teams, the players, and the front office. Talk football with Coach K every day at noon on your radio. And Coach K live on Facebook and YouTube at ESPN Pensacola 945.
And welcome back, 5:55 on this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us as always. Blue Wahoos baseball coming up tonight. ESPN Pensacola 94.5, your home. We will have first pitch at 6:35 with Chris Garagiola as the Wahoos will host the Biloxi Shuckers. Hopefully taking it to them. Shucking those oysters is, man, they took it to us. Clean 5-0 sweep to end what was like the battle. It pretty much was the series, without calling it, the playoff series to who wins the first half. Whoever came up on top, and I know you're chewing something. Is it sunflower? No, grapes? Okay.
I still had a grape from the break.
If it was something chewy, I was going to give you more time. Grapes, you need to swallow.
We're good.
Yeah,
We're good. I'm good.
Yeah, they're a choking hazard to babies. I know that. But for you, you need to swallow it and move on. Okay, we're good? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like beef stroganoff. I was going to give you a few minutes over there and be confused why that's inside our studio. But for what's going on right now with the Wahoos, that was the series, and the Shuckers got the best of them, a clean 5-0 sweep. So we can get a little bit of piece of revenge, and if you're out at the ballpark today, it's Fat Tuesday. No reason not to have a couple of cocktails.
Yeah.
Definitely designated driver. And then be cheering on because, hey, they've already got a piece. Let's start that rivalry. You know what I'm saying? They have sports books that are legal, things like that. Let's go after Biloxi a little here.
Let's definitely go after.
Let's make this
Thursday
happen.
night is Tanya Harding night at Blue Wahoo Stadium.
No,
we're not going to do that.
In the parking lot, yeah. If you see the guy, Cape Crusaders night. But, sir, that's not a game. Oh, well, I'm going to be in a Cape Town. Yeah. It's going to be a fun night at the ballpark and hopefully get it done right there. Well, we talked about this a little yesterday, but an Emory professor ranked the top NFL teams when it comes to 3 different criterias of fan bases: fan equity, social equity, and road equity. Get your mind out of the gutter. Fan equity is how well you back up the words with dollars. Social equity is a team's social media reach. Road equity measures how well Bobby Petrino can be on a road equity measures how well a team draws on the road, adjusting to team's performance. That's where the whole thing goes crazy. Because there are some teams like Dallas, America, where everywhere you go, somebody is a Dallas fan. Same thing with, I've seen more bandwagon Patriot fans.
Stick your head out the studio and look to the right, and you'll find a Dallas fan, yeah.
And see, when I grew up as a kid, Patriots were just that team that people were like, well, maybe one day you can win, but nobody cared. Dallas McPherson or Pete Carroll's coach, nobody hated us. It was a patriotic way. You wore the colors, red, white, and blue, and you had the Patriot right there. Now, with Tom Brady and Belichick and macaroni and sleaze and what's been going on there. Now, all of a sudden, being a Patriot fan, I got yelled at Peg Leg Pete's. It's supposed to be like a great time down there at the beach. I was down there, kids like, you moron, you Patriots. And I'm not going to say what he said, but, Patriots. I don't like the Patriots. Let's just put it that way. Patriots
best $20 I ever spent.
Yeah. No. And I came back with, I think it was like 7. I shouldn't have gotten into a fight with the kid. But I was like, I said, oh, okay, I'm sorry, what's your team? He's like, go Falcons. I was like, yeah, what a Super Bowl have. And then I just kept walking, and he sort of looked at me, and I just was like, all right, kid, you picked the wrong team to go up against, because that's one team. If you're gonna throw it out there as a Falcon fan against the Pats, like that's one team you sort of shut
just
up.
Lie, say you're a Packers fan or something.
It's like when I see Fred Robbins out. Look, the Patriots have had more success than the New York Giants of recent, but Fred Robbins played for that team on the New York Giants. It was a 12-point underdog and ruined the perfect season. Had the 72 Dolphins and Mercury Morris dancing around. And every time I see Fred, first off, he's 6'5", 330. I don't say anything wrong. But Fred's a big teddy bear. But when I see Fred, he has the one-up on us. Regardless of what I think, Fred Robbins went out there, and they went to a point where they beat the Pats. So I'm not going to talk smack to the guy that owns it. So for that Falcon fan out there, dirty bird all you want, but you got dirtied big time. We're coming back for more. We're going to talk with John Steele, the retirement planners, right here on the Sports Drive.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Dropping Gannon, looking Gannon, throws up the middle. At the 40, Derek Brooks 30, Brooks to the 29, 20. Derek Brooks all the way. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Derek Brooks, the dagger's in. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Mother Watson is wearing a green jacket, and this time his name is Bubba.
Pitch on the way. Russell drives one in the air. Deep left center. That back near the wall. It's got a chance. Grand slam. Grand slam, Addison Russell. The new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
And Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that?
Bama scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trick Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And these them Louisiana, Pensacola guys, they looking crazy and all that.
Morris, blocked by the tight end call. That opens up the door. Breaking the Kendricks tackle. To the pylon. Touchdown.
Really nice effort there by Alfred Morris, extending that ball over the goal line.
Near side ball is that big game. Doug Baldwin's got a first down. And Doug Baldwin, 93 yards, now has back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
Reggie Evans, and he's going to get an ovation. Guy from Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome to the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. I am Chad Brilliante. Glad to be along. Jordan Glasson joining us now every Tuesday from the Retirement Planners, John Steele. If you want the financial advice at a local level to be able to get the support you need and the call where he'll take care of you, John is there for you. And also coming off that Blues Stanley Cup win, so feeling good right now, I'm sure. John, how's everything going?
Well, that's pretty good. As I mentioned last week, in St. Louis, they got to come up with a new name for the team because they can't sing the blues anymore. They won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, but I was going to have a little fun tonight,
Let's do that.
And
that's what we're all about.
We're going to pick on you.
Well, that's also what we're all about.
So what I've got is the 20 today richest athletes, both past and present, in the world. Who do you think the richest athlete in the world is?
Richest athlete in the world is... That's a good question.
I'm going to give you a hint. It has to do with professional wrestlers.
Vince McMahon?
Vince McMahon. He's worth $2.2 billion. Okay, that's how much money he's made since he was a wrestler and he took it over. All right, so let's talk about this one here. You'll never guess. This is the number 2 wealthiest athlete in the world. This guy was a former Romanian professional tennis and ice hockey player.
Vladimir Putin?
No. Ion Teriak is worth $2 billion.
Wow.
That's playing a lot of tennis and ice hockey, man.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so now the next one you might have a good guess on. He used to play a little basketball up around Chicago.
That would be Michael Jordan.
You got it. He's worth $1.7 billion.
Thank goodness the Space Jam there.
Yep. He played a total of 15 seasons in the NBA.
Put a lot of that on roulette, if you know Michael.
And he played with the Bulls and the Wizards. Okay? He is acclaimed to be the best basketball player of all time. Since retiring, he has now become principal owner of
the Charlotte Hornets.
You got it. His estimated net worth is $1.7 billion in 2019, making him one of the richest athletes in the world. The next one, you may not, but he's a former German race car driver in Formula One.
Huh. Michael Schumacher?
Bingo.
Okay.
Hey, this
Look at these. By the way,
hey,
there is nothing. These are just. This is like a morph of nothing. I will. Yeah. I
didn't give him the answers, and I gave him no hints. Okay, but he was regarded as one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time. Net worth around $800 million. Now the next guy, okay, he's been known to play a little golf.
Tiger Woods.
You got it. He's worth net $800 million. Okay? He is also one of the highest paid athletes in the world on a yearly basis, which probably explains how he was able to make it on the list. His net worth is estimated to be in excess of $740 million. To quote Tiger, he says, "I get to play golf for a living. What more can you ask for? Getting paid for doing what you love." That's like Chad. He's getting to do what he likes.
That's right. Wear these camo shirts.
Now, the next number 6 wealthiest athlete in the world is a friend of mine, and you've seen a picture of us together.
Tanya Harding, the skater from the. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, not
okay.
Tanya.
All right, no wait.
Maybe Nancy. I
Magic Johnson.
like Nancy.
Magic Johnson.
You're right, Magic Johnson, former professional basketball player.
You like Nancy Kerrigan, right? That was,
I did. Yeah, I am not a Tanya Harding.
We
fan.
want to make that clear.
Yeah. Right now, Magic is president of the. He's still working with the Lakers, as far as I know. He's not completely out of there yet, but his net worth is around $600 million. So, Magic's doing okay. Now, this next guy is worth around $600 million, and he played a little football.
Yeah.
And he might have went to school somewhere around Annapolis.
Roger Staubach?
You got it.
I didn't know he made that much money. I know he had like a grill in the 1970s that people used, and
apparently a lot of people bought
You know what he started, which is pretty fascinating, is the back in the day, now we have so many concoctions, but for every guy here, when we kick off the shoes and turn on the tube, the TV right there, he built like he had the Roger Staubach little tray for the remotes and all the other, that. It's so easy, but it's something that everybody could use, I've lost my remote 4 times this week under the couch sofa, so it's definitely something that comes in handy.
Yep, he played 5 Super Bowls, 4 of them as a starting quarterback. Is worth $600 million. I like his quote we had in here. Confidence doesn't come out of nowhere. It's a result of something, hours and days and weeks and years of constant work and dedication.
That's pretty cool.
Roger Staubach.
He's one of the best, yeah.
Now, the next guy is worth about $565 million, and he can throw a punch.
Ooh, that's not going to be.
He's had an unbelievable record of 50-0.
Oh, Mayweather.
You got it.
I was going to say. I was like, Mike Tyson was broke. So I don't.
Yeah. Mike Tyson did not manage his money well.
He's living on roofs with pigeons.
Mayweather's done a lot better.
Yes, he has.
He recently added a significant amount of money to his total net worth after winning the hyped-up fight against Conor McGregor.
Yeah, and Pacquiao. He made some money as well.
Yeah, he did. And his net worth is estimated at $565 million. Okay, now the next guy plays a little bit of basketball. Okay, he's worth about $500 million. Let's see, he played 20 seasons with the Lakers, holds the record for the longest number of seasons with one team. He's on the list of the richest athletes worldwide. His entrepreneurship journey will surely only add to this figure in the future.
I will go one more time on that.
It's my favorite Japanese beef.
Kobe Bryant.
You got
there
it.
You go.
See, I can give him hints, can I?
Yeah, now we know.
Yeah. And
I could have just stopped at Kobe for the purpose of what you use there.
All right, now the next one you'll probably never guess. This is the 10th wealthiest super athlete on planet Earth. He's a former Irish race car driver, motorsport team boss, businessman, musician, and television personality worth about $475 million. He won the Irish Kart Championship in 1971, moved to Formula Ford in 1974. He also founded Jordan Grand Prix, a Formula One constructor which operated from 1991 to 2005.
I'm not good. Is this the guy in the Heineken commercial? That is, trying to think of. Is that the guy that wears the cap on the Heineken commercial? I forget his name.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
All right.
No.
I was just trying to sound like I was leading to somewhere I wasn't. So
it's Eddie Jordan.
Eddie Jordan. I was not going anywhere close to that.
And we're not? Okay. All right. Now, the next guy is number 11. He's worth $450 million. He is an English former professional footballer, which in Europe, is that funny little girls' game that our women are over winning in the World Cup.
That's right.
Okay. He played the majority of his career for the English team, the Manchester United, and, of course, the England national team.
Wayne Rooney.
Oh. It was the first half of And Goliath.
David
what?
Beckham.
You got it.
Yeah.
See, I just gave him a little hint.
That was obvious. Too.
Now he's not paying me here to make him look good.
You know what was funny though is that David Beckham and Tom Brady are two of the biggest names in sports.
Yep.
And their wives make more than they do.
Yeah.
Because his wife was a Spice Girl.
Yeah. Their wives are probably better known than they are worldwide.
David Beckham's wife, Posh Spice, the Spice Girls made so much, and they're still making money off their albums, which I haven't heard a good one. But at the same time, it is funny because Giselle, the number one Victoria's Secret model, makes and morphs what Tom Brady makes. It's funny how both of them make $500, $600 million, do everything,
and they're better looking than the guys too.
That's right.
By far.
Well, that I will agree with 100%. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. This is a quote by Beckman. Says the spotlight will always be on me.
Oh.
But it's something I'm learning to live with as the years go by. Now, he's not a little arrogant.
No, that wasn't conceited
at
all.
Very humble.
Yeah.
Okay, the next
and they
guy,
asked him, "What's your favorite pair of tennis shoes?" Too, sir. What kind of shoes you like? The spotlight's always on me, folks.
But see, what you don't
sir,
know
I didn't
is
ask
like
you that.
over in Europe, the spotlight is the type of tennis shoe. So the spotlight
there you
is
go,
always
like
on me.
those ones that light up, like the LA lights. Okay.
Yeah. Now the purpose of the show today is to have fun and test Chad's knowledge.
Well, we're doing okay outside of Eddie Jordan, who I thought was a running back but no, it's that you've got me on that one.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right, the next guy, it's worth $450 million. He's the 12th richest athlete on planet Earth. And he played on the clay courts, and he's Swiss.
Obviously, Roger Federer.
You got it. This guy's good.
Golf clap.
If there was another $450 million tennis player from Switzerland, he's been living under, some mountain. He's got his own place in the Alps protected, and we don't know his name, but I'm pretty good at that.
Now, the next one, number 13, is worth $450 million.
Okay.
Okay. And he's a Portuguese.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Look, I got a little Portuguese blood in me. I'm just saying.
I'm going to have
see it with the hair.
Yeah, that's right. No, I do.
Yeah.
I'm actually 25% Portuguese.
Yeah,
so
but he had his little blonde put on the end of it.
If I lost 20 pounds and got myself into some type of shape, I could play for the Portuguese. with the hair, I could blend in with the players. But
Yeah, Ronaldo has been regarded as the best footballer in the world and constantly fights with Lionel Messi for this title. In fact, for the last several years, it's Messi. These two players are the only two to receive Player of the Year award.
Yes.
Okay, he's worth $450.
Oh, there you go.
Now the next
he's got a good story too, by the way.
Does he? I don't know his story.
His dad was somebody that pretty much, I think he was pretty much a janitor, a local janitor, but he was selling drugs and doing other things in Spain behind the scenes.
He's trying to scratch out a living.
Yeah. But he became an alcoholic and abusive and died in an early age. And Ronaldo
went to live with him. I think I met him in Barcelona at a bar. Yeah.
Might have met him at one of the places up the road too. But what happened was it was a case where his grandma took over. He played for a team to get soccer away. He actually saw his dad and he became sober. He didn't want to do anything. He thought of religion, but got away from a tough situation at home and his family. And his brothers went down a path of actually selling drugs. One of them got killed in a shoot-off, and all his family pretty much lived a life of crime and poverty. And he took a path of soccer and became who he is today. But he didn't come from, it wasn't a perfect story where he was playing on those competitive AAU teams.
He knows
broke
all
free.
his Portuguese history, doesn't he?
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Who was the most famous explorer? No, I'm just saying explorer from Portugal. But anyway.
Magellan?
I don't know. I don't
think it would be.
You should never ask questions you don't know the answer.
I know a lot more than people, that look.
It's showing.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? We're having an opportunity here to make him look good. And that was not the plan.
That's not the point of this.
We looked at the first one, and we kind of were like, okay, that's a little off the beaten path. So
you got it. Now, the next guy is number 14, wealthiest athlete on planet Earth. He's a basketball player. And if I tell you the team he paid for, you'll know it immediately. It was Cleveland.
I was going to say LeBron before. Yeah,
you got it. Yeah. LeBron James.
Danny.
Okay?
Craig Elo. No.
Say if you got that one wrong.
Yeah. I don't think Boobie Gibson got paid that much. So I'm going to go with LeBron on that.
Now this one's kind of interesting because you ain't gonna get this one.
Okay. Well.
This guy's he's number 15. He's worth around $400 million. Okay. And he is known for his trademarked catchphrase, "Let's get ready to rumble."
Michael Buffer. Okay. Please, yeah.
All right.
Jeez.
Yeah. Do you know that he he pretty much put a patent on that?
He did.
And he gets paid per second. We joke about this.
It's trademarked.
Oh, yeah. He gets paid a couple million every time to say that. And think about per second. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. For when he does that, 15 seconds. So if you added how much do you get paid per hour?
So that's basically why he holds it out until he splits his spleen.
He gets like $700 million an hour if you broke that down into time. So,
Michael Buffer says in regard to the trademark phrase, he says, "It's quite overwhelming when you think about the money involved."
He pretty much is.
$400 million.
I think he is the luckiest person in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, people get you get lotto, but that takes a little skill with picking the numbers. Like, he says something like, I could say on here, like, the guy, Jimmy Walker, the guy that says dynamite, like, he's living, I don't know what he's doing, but he's not making that. Like, people have great slogans, I'm back, or something like that, but none of these, E.T. phone home, none of them gets.
No, it's I'm back.
Yeah. Hasta la vista. Like, but he gets paid a lot for those.
I mean, why you did that like Cartman from South Park.
Well, there was a South Park, his cousin, the guy with the allergies. But no, when it comes down to there's nobody that gets more for one saying, and it's not even that catchy. I mean, it is, but it's not like it took a lot.
It's catchy enough to be worth $400 million.
It's very catchy, but it's not like it took a lot of creativity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I was like, "You're gonna win the game," and they're like, "Oh, what an incredible story this guy has!" Like, no, like that. It's something that you think of sports. Let's get ready to rumble when you're inside the ring. Hey, good for him. You know, God bless America for giving the opportunity. Yeah.
Now the next guy is number 16, wealthiest athlete on planet Earth. Okay. He played in the NBA for 19 seasons. He's currently a sports analyst for the NBA.
I'm going to go with Shaquille O'Neal.
Bingo.
The Big Diesel. His platinum records right there. He actually did have a platinum song, which is sad, but yeah.
Yeah, Shaq is notorious for being one of the biggest players of all time to play in
Telling Kobe how is.
He was listed as 7'1", 325 pounds.
Yeah, when in his prime, that was his left shoe. When he played for the Lakers, he was pushing
That was a big fella.
Yeah, it was.
To quote Shaq, "Excellence is not a singular act, but a habit. You are what you repeatedly do."
Shaq is a good man, though. I used to go to Magic basketball camps as a kid, and his brother and his family, they actually would come down and do charity work, and they would drive to Melbourne, Florida, where I grew up about an hour and 15, 20 minutes away, and help. They actually did 2 camps for children with autism and children with Down syndrome, and would help and do, just be there and just be this. I mean, he's like a huge teddy bear. They would climb him and but Shaq was a good human being.
He still is. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, he really is a great guy.
I've admired him a long time because you see this all the time. You get some people who go in and they get a big contract and they make a lot of money. And they're buttholes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Larry Bird was a butthole.
Yeah.
He was my favorite player, but he was, yeah.
Yeah, and I go back to the old '63 and '64 Cardinals, and I remember all them guys. They were great. I mean, but anyway.
Yeah, Ty Cobb is everybody's favorite.
I used to go crappie fishing with Whitey Herzog. So
well, there you go.
Well, we were members of the same little private lake over in Millstadt, Illinois, and I used to run into him over time. Twice I've been in his boat with him because I'd show up to fish by myself, and he'd say, "Get my boat, boy."
He liked to catch whiting, right?
No, he liked to catch crappie.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. They didn't have any whiting in fresh water. Whiting's are saltwater fish. But in any event, the next guy is number 17, wealthiest athlete on planet Earth. Okay? He is an Argentine professional footballer, considered one of the best footballers in the modern game.
Lionel Messi.
You got it.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi. Currently plays for Barcelona FC and the Argentina national team. Messi has been a notorious player in the game for many years and has been named Player of the Year on multiple occasions.
Yeah. He's one of those guys. I heard a lady the other day, like, I think she got him and Ronaldo confused, but he was like, oh, my God, he is the most handsome. And I'm like, that's the kind of guy, if he didn't play soccer, I think he would just get passed in the street. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Ronaldo, wherever he walks, is going to get looked at. I mean, Ronaldo is like a statue.
See, I had another hint for you in case you didn't get it right away. I was going to say, your trains when you were a kid.
That's
Lionel.
right. Yeah.
But anyway. Let's see. Let's get down here to number 18.
Uh-oh.
Okay? This guy, okay, is worth $400 million.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, I got to give you something here. It'd be too easy. He is also the founder of the Milwaukee Brewers, owned the team from 1970 when he bought the bankrupt Seattle Pilots and moved them to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, just before the start of the season. Now, I can't give you the best clue because it'll give it away. Has something to do with being commissioner of Major League Baseball.
Rob Mansford.
No.
Oh, wait. It's Bud Selig.
You got it.
Yeah, never mind. I knew that. That was, but you got me. I mean, that would have been an ant. I would have got the X.
Hey, the buzzer hadn't went off
Well, no,
yet.
it was Bud Selig.
Yeah. Okay. Now this guy here,
the man who conned baseball in a good. I mean, for the best. The ratings went up, but it's the biggest hypocrite of all time. If of all time, it would be. He is the guy that would be in a relationship, and I'm not saying throw people aside, but this would be like a guy dating another guy, but then putting a bunch of bills in Congress to say that to abort all gay rights, no gay rights for anybody, but I'm dating this guy. That was Bud Selig, because what he did with baseball, and I know that was pretty harsh to the way I put that, but Bud Selig came back and said steroids is ruining the game and blah blah blah, but he reaped every single penny and everything from a game that was juicing at the time with McGuire, with Bonds, with Sosa, and they loved it. They embraced it. They would cut from commercials. Remember, they would go, all right, it's time to bring Mark McGuire and Sosa to the plate. Home run, and then when the Mitchell report came out, they were like, oh, all these cheaters are in our league, and he was the one that allowed it to happen.
I was a big McGuire fan.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way our president only give recognition to Sosa.
It's true.
I remember that so clear.
Yeah.
Because, Mark McGuire was just a big old Irishman that could hit a ball. And he was good. And so I stand by my Mark McGuire.
I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, I was fine with the way it went.
And I'm not prejudiced against Latinos.
I'm just saying own it. That's what I'm saying, John, is for Bud Selig, it was fine. I thought that was the best time for ratings. Yep. I don't care. Yes, they were bigger, stronger, but it was the more entertaining baseball time I've ever watched.
Hey, I wore the bright red Mark McGuire cleats in Little League.
The balls were getting crushed out of the stadium.
Now, I have to make a full legal disclosure here. None of these people are my clients yet. Okay. Now the next one,
let's go ahead and take a quick break because we are, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more.
Oh well, we got two more to go.
Well,
there's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there.
We are broadcasters, your home for Pensacola sports. ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Hey, this is Cole from Commander Air, and we're your local Daikin Comfort pros. Trust is hard to come by these days. At Commander Air, we have over 54 years of building and earning your trust. From each trained, certified technician to the state-of-the-art Daikin units we install, Daikin systems come with a trustworthy 12-year parts warranty. Commander Air has 3 generations of trust built on dependability, knowledge, and outstanding service. Come check out our new AC showroom at the intersection of Highway 29 and 9 Mile Road. Commander Air, your hometown heating and cooling specialist for 3 generations.
Join the fun this weekend at Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. It's the Alzheimer's Mason a Difference lunch with 3D eats and tea. Half the food will be donated back to the cause. Plus, a bounce house for the kids and Harley's Angels with free beer. June 30th, it's Sundays on Sunday. Take a break from the heat with a free ice cream sundae. Keep up with all the fun this summer at PensacolaHarley.com and on Facebook. Harley-Davidson of Pensacola. Let's ride.
Around the clock, Redwire is working for you. As security experts, they're committed to 24/7 customer service and professional installation to secure your business and home. Redwire operates a nationally recognized monitoring center here in the Florida Panhandle, where their trained specialists use innovative technology to ensure fast response times whenever you need them. If you are looking for affordable security, look no further than your own backyard. Redwire, real expert security.
And welcome back. Sports Drive with you right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Chad Brilliante alongside Jordan Glass, and joining us each and every Tuesday from the Retirement Planners, John Steele. And John, I know we only have about 5-6 minutes before we send it to the Wahoos, so I want to let everybody know each and every week, what is the best way they can contact you?
There you go.
First of all, you got to get your there we go.
Okay. See, he's cutting me out.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I wanted the information so bad.
The telephone number is 850-995-1999. So, I mean, I do it that way because people didn't remember it.
See, during the break, he was whispering to me, I was going to start a retirement planner place, and I told him, I said, now he's cutting your mic.
And I am the retirement planners. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm a certified retirement counselor. I'm a chartered retirement planning counselor. I am also an Ed Slott elite advisor. There's only 300 of them in the country. And so I'm all this stuff, and I got almost 37 years experience doing this. And I had a lot of fun earlier today. I spoke to a group of 15 Baptist ministers about how to generate massive revenue for their churches.
Huh.
They were excited.
But wait, anyway, a minister was getting excited for generating revenue?
I think they were getting excited. When I showed them how you could structure people's IREs so that you could replace the IRE with a tax-free distribution to your kids and leave the bulk of the IRE to the charity of your choice, and the kids got 100% of the money and the charity gets 100% of the money instead of the government getting it. Anyway.
Well, you get the first pew every week now.
Probably do. But in any event, I got 2 more real quick. Let's do them real quick.
Get them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This guy has something to do with knocking a little white ball around the green area. And let's see. He won 42 events on the PGA Tour, including 5 major championships, 3 Masters titles, a PGA championship, and an Open championship. And he's worth $400 million.
Phil Mickelson.
Damn. He's good, ain't he?
Yep.
Damn. I mean, I gotta at least make one up here to fool him. But anyway, this guy is a retired professional basketball player who used to play for the Detroit Pistons in the NBA. He won 2 championships during his time playing for the Pistons, and the team has retired his number 15 jersey, and he's worth $400 million.
Isaiah Thomas? Nope. Dennis Rodman?
Nope. Detroit Pistons.
Wow.
Number 15. Retired his jersey.
Okay.
He is an African American.
Joe Dumars?
No. Kind of a good-looking guy. He looks a lot like my dad, except my dad was white. But other than that, face shape and nose and everything is just like my dad. But you never met my dad, so I won't help you.
Grant Hill?
No.
What Pistons guy is making all this cash here?
Now, when you talk about getting buddies in the gang in New Jersey, who do you call up if you need some knees broke?
Rick Mahorn?
No, my old buddy Vinny.
Vinny Microwave Johnson?
You got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd he get all this money?
$400 million is what he's worth.
Did he sell microwaves on this? I thought it was a nickname right here. He has the patented 2 microwaves, and that's pretty cool. But
hey, forget about the Foreman.
No, wait. Where did he get this? This is very intriguing here. Where did he get the money?
Doesn't say.
On the streets of Detroit, you never know right there.
That's right.
How'd you get your $400 million? You never ask a guy from Detroit.
He could have been selling leaded water to the city.
Yeah, he's the one that put all those Flynn plants out of business. Right
he could have.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
Vinny Microwave Johnson, man. I would never. That's the winner right there. Because I would have never thought that.
I thought that would be a great idea for our show today, and I'm out of them. I only had 20, and so I don't have any more.
Right there. No, there's a couple guys too. I think it's cool to see former athletes. Some of them got into investment banking and some other stuff. And one guy is like a hedge fund operator. I forget who on the top of my head, but he made like $2.1 million as a player. But he took that 2.1 and he's worth like. Almost like
there was some old football player.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember his name now. I met him at the last conference I was at.
Yeah, okay.
In Dallas. Guy, yeah, and they were asking me if I wanted any of his bobblehead dolls. And I said no. You got one of them Aaron Rodgers bobbleheads? I'll take one of them, and they ran me off.
John, we always appreciate your time. Looking forward to doing this again. It's been fun today.
Thank you.
John Steele from The Retirement Planners. Give that number out one more time.
850-995-1999. No cost for the first interview. Basically what I do, I just help people solve problems.
That's right.
That's what I'm been doing for years.
John, appreciate it. Jordan, appreciate it as always. Thank you for your grocery store here today. And we'll come back tomorrow. I'm Chad Brillante. Have a great rest of your night on ESPN Pensacola 94.5 and on Blab TV. Sending out to Chris Garagiola and First Pitch right here with the Pensacola Blue Wahoos.
Hi, I'm Layla Ali. I might be undefeated in professional boxing, but there's one problem I can't fight alone.